Hannah here with another Mini Zentangle session. Today is week 3, day 6, and today the materials you're going to need are a black fine liner pen, if you haven't got one, a black biro, a black pencil, an EARBUD, or if you have one, a tortillon, and a rainbow. Now I've done several different sizes of rainbow. This one is 12 by 12 centimeters squared. This one was done on an A4 piece of paper. For today's session I'm going to tangle this one, and I'll show you some examples that I've done at the end of the session on the larger one. So if you'd like to pause the video, go and get your materials, and then when you're settled and sitting comfortably we will begin. Starting with the 10 by 10 centimeter squared piece of white card, I've drawn a selection of half circles to form a rainbow. I did this using a compass, and I drew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. 2 of them I've then subdivided up so that I can fit in some of the tangles that we've drawn this week. I'm going to start with the small one, and the tangle that we drew where we did 2 tram lines, turned our tile, drew another 2 more but stopped when we reached the first one. I'm just going to put in that the smallest centre circle. I'm not going to be able to fit very many, but I will put in, I think that will do. In the second row up, I've drawn it so that I can, well, I can put one of the tangles in that we did this week that was a little bit more difficult, but I'm actually going to show the example in the larger one purely and simply because going round a corner on this tangle is a little bit more difficult. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off, and I've drawn 3 sets of lines on the inside one, and then using my eye, these 2 meet, so I'm going to aim for that point there, and this will change as we go round the circle. So this tip here has to marry that one there, and then I'm going to draw from the outside another couple of sets. And the reason for doing this is, as we go round that corner, the dimensions will change. So to do this one here, it needs to go to that point there. And I hope I'm explaining this clear enough, so that when we go to this one, we can go and marry those up there. So this one was a much shallower one. Using that, we can go again another shallow one. So on the outer set of 2, I'm going to draw another 3 batches, and when I come to marry this one up, it's going to go to that point there. And if I am going a little bit too fast, please feel free to pause until you've caught up. I'm going to do one more batch of 3, and then I'm going to move on to another tangle, just so that you can get a rough idea of what I'm doing. So this one here will go to that point there, and by doing it this way, it's the easiest way I've found to go round corners, rather than to go ahead and just do one side. So that's where we've got so far. And in this one here, you'll notice that I've put 2 circular lines. When we did this tangle earlier this week, there's only 1 centre line. But because we haven't got enough space to put the circles from the outside in, so the circles that were on the outside, I'm just going to draw a centre line like that. And again, going round corners, I found the easiest way to do this is to start at this end so you can clearly get that sort of arrow shaped at the end. But again, with this tangle, normally we would go all the way along the inside, then turn our tile and go all the way on the outside. I think going round corners, it's easier to do it this way. So I will just carry on showing you a couple more, and then we'll move on to the next tangle. So you see, by doing it this way, I've managed to keep that point. So choosing another one of the tangles that we've done this week, I'm going to choose this one here, and I'm going to start by drawing the pattern like that, and then moving up round the corner. You see I can't fit it in here or there or there, so I'm just fitting this tangle in as I can, and I'm alternating between the black dots at the end and the clear dots at the end. And for the final section, we did this tangle here with the spirals inside, or that look like that. But towards the beginning of the week, we also did a tangle that looked like that. So I'm going to choose that one because putting lines in here could be a little bit difficult. And I'm just drawing my spirals, including that little sparkle just here. And then I'm going to continue going around the outside until I've filled it all up. So by now, because we've done, this is week 3, we will have learnt 15 tangles. You can actually choose out of any of those 15 that you want to do or you think will fit in here and look nice. So I'm going to show you some examples of ones that I've done earlier. Here's one that I did where I used the tangle, this tangle here. And you'll notice that, or this one here, and you'll notice that I've put the black, the solid black in the corners, and I've put a little ribbon on the end because I'm thinking of putting it on a card as a gift. This one is much larger, and this did take me quite a while. It didn't turn out quite the way that I'd planned. I started off by drawing 4 rainbows, 1 on each side, and then when I reached the first one I cut it off, if you like, and drew behind. So we've got the 1, 2, 3 tangles that we've learned over the course of the 3 weeks. Now this section here I haven't shaded so that you can see the difference between these 3 that have got the shading and this one that hasn't, and I'll turn it upside down so maybe you can see it a little bit better, but you'll notice how much of a difference that shading makes. And for those eagle-eyed viewers, you'll see that there's 2 new tangles, one new tangle in here, but done in 2 different ways. That's a tangle we're going to learn next week or the week after. Here is, so using the one that I coloured, I scanned it onto my printer, and for the darker tangles, for the darker colours, I've used a white pen on those 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the rainbow, and then a darker pen. And I have to say, I think it's come out really nice, and I quite like that one. And here's another A4 one that I've done. And you'll see again that shading makes all the difference. And there's that tangle that we did a couple of minutes ago, and that's exactly how I drew that one. My final example is something a little bit different. It was my son's birthday, or it is my son's birthday on Tuesday of next week, the 21st. So I decided that I would make him a birthday card. So what I've done is using this template, I've drawn and tangled and then mounted it onto a birthday card. And then I thought, well, hold on, I might have other people's birthdays coming up, so I thought I would make a set of them. So I've just made a set of 5 where I've just put different sentiments on and different background papers on, and then I've just wrapped them in a little belly band. So I shall take a photograph of these and I'll show it again at the end. I hope you've enjoyed today's session and that you'll be joining me for next week when we're going to learn 5 new tangles. And please feel free to send me pictures of your artwork and if you have any questions. Bye for now.